Colonel, if I were, let's play a thought experiment. If I were to change the realities, if I were to nationalize the military-industrial complex, let's just assume you make no money. You want to go to war, fine. Nobody makes. There's no Raytheon, there's no General Dynamics, no nothing. Would the world look different? What is their motivation? Is it money to be on the board? Is it this? Is it power? Is it some peanut game of Risk? Is this some megalomaniacal? What is Lindsey Graham about? Help me with this. Maybe I'll understand it. Remember after PNAC and when the neocons and the Straussian lunatics, and what is it? Explain this to me. Maybe I'm missing. Maybe I'm just stupid.
No, you're obviously not. No. First of all, we have to understand that the 5 big defense firms are, for all practical purposes, what you just described. We call them state-sponsored enterprises. They are so big and they are so vital to the larger GDP, because military equipment and technology is almost all that's left that we build. Mm-hmm. If you were watching just last week, I think it was Howard Lutnick was asked by an Indian at a conference with Indian businessmen and representatives of the Indian government, why are you not happy with us? And he made the comment, well, we'd be a lot happier with you if you bought our military equipment instead of Russian military equipment. Stop and think about that.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, this is this absurdity of transactional relations with people. That is suddenly it's the New York City way of business. Everything's about money, and either you pay me or you don't. If you don't pay me, then you're out. And I think that's one problem. The second problem, though, that you asked about is somebody like Lindsey Graham. First of all, I met him once or twice, had a brief conversation with him. I don't know what he really believes, but I do know what's important to him. And what's important to him is staying in office and wielding power and influence. He cannot do that without a great deal of money. And when McCain died, he inherited the wealthy people, bankers and others in San Francisco that had bankrolled McCain for so long. Who are these people and what do they want? Well, they're all Zionists. That's number one. So you're committed. If you're going to take their money, you're absolutely committed to war in perpetuity to make Israel the hegemonic power in the region. I mean, let's face it. That's
boy, now you've done it. Now you've hit that third rail, Macgregor. Here we go. This is...
before you go any further, I just tell you, I've been to Israel many times, and I actually like the Israelis, and I've
been twice. I loved it. Loved the people. Loved it. Yes.
I started going there in '99. My last visit was 2020, and I talked to Israelis. Some of them were IDF officers or retired, and some of them expressed a view. Said, "Don't you think we'd be better off without this close relationship and dependence upon the United States?" And I sort of sat there and I said, "Well, that's a call you need to make. Can you make it on your own?" That was my answer. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to do that, then you have to get along with your neighbors. And that's something they don't want to do. They want to bully their neighbors. They don't want to get along with them. And that's a problem. And we enable that because of our unconditional support. So people say, why can't we bring about peace in Gaza or something else? Well, what's our leverage? The only leverage we have is to cut them off cold turkey, refuse to supply anything else. We don't want to do that because, first of all, we don't hate Israelis. We think Israel has a positive role to play. I do. So you don't want to cut them off. Well, then what do? No one can stand up to that anymore because today, if you sit down President Trump and you sit down Prime Minister Netanyahu and say, how many senators can you deliver on a vote? And how many senators can you deliver on a vote? Netanyahu can deliver more than Trump. Those are facts.
Don't you think most people, Colonel, would be offended, irrespective of the cause, for anybody to be in the position of having, there's nothing wrong with having a lobby. I have no problem with AIPAC. We have a Second Amendment lobby and climate change. I don't care about that. I'm sure we have lobbies in other countries as well. But this obeisance, this almost like this zombified obeisance, but the one that gets me the most, look, we can argue this all day long, but I'll be damned if you're going to tell me that I can go to Columbia University, blaspheme my beloved republic, and get away with it, in fact, be patted on the back, But if I dare say something about Israel, I'm going to be booted as being an anti-Semite? Wait a minute, what? Whose country is that? I can't believe. And anti-Semitism is about religion. Israel is about a country. Am I a Francophobe if I don't like Macron? And finally, both sides, left and right, are saying the same thing. When CNN and Fox agree, something's very wrong here.
Well, money speaks. Money has a unique flavor all of its own.
You sound like AOC with the Benjamins.
Yeah, well, I think I'm not a big AOC fan, obviously.
I didn't think so.
But having said that, I think we need to understand that this. What is it? Mark Twain was asked many years ago by a visitor from Europe. He said, "What about criminality in the United States?" And he said, "The only entirely criminal class in the United States is Congress." I think he got it right. And I think that's where we are. Too many of these people have sold out because well, let me finish, Lionel.
Yes,
This is based on two things, not just greed, but it's also based on the assumption that it doesn't matter. We're so powerful. We're so big. We can do whatever we want. And if we decide to do something which may be antithetical to our interests, such as support mass murder and expulsion of people from Gaza, it doesn't matter. Who the hell could stop us? We're going to continue to make money and continue to do business. And eventually the people there will be gone and no one will remember or care. Literally, that's the mentality. Don't ask me to stick my head out for something that really doesn't matter. And my constituents, by the way, they don't even know where it is, or the ones who do are evangelicals who thinks this is God's will.
Right.
So, I think it's a combination of those things. It's not just one factor.
Right. I understand. It's kind of an eschatological aspect. The thing which I also want to find, I was a little young at the time. I'm from Florida originally, and I lived in Tampa, where we have MacDill Air Force Base before it was CENTCOM, and we really kind of knew about those Ruskies and Cuba and the whole bit. But in 1962, if I recall correctly, there was a thing called the Cuban Missile Crisis. And plus, we have the Monroe Doctrine. And we told Russia, in essence, it was actually about Turkey. But anyway, we theoretically said, we will go to war with you if you don't get these missiles out of something that's 90 miles away. Vladimir Putin basically says, since day one, Ukraine is not going to be a member of NATO. That's it. He even meets with Zelensky. Boris Johnson comes in and puts a kibosh to that. How can we tell anybody that they can't do what we did in 1962 and we're ready to go to war for? Do we just not remember? Are we hypocrites or just crazy?
Well, we're the ones that wear the white hats. We're always the guys. And this is the problem. Americans don't understand that in many cases we're not the good guys. We certainly weren't the good guys in Vietnam. And I don't think we're the good guys right now in the Middle East and many other places. It used to be enormously popular. And that was because we weren't occupying anything. If you look at in the Arab world and you look for countries where they've done polling, where are we most popular? We're most popular in those countries where we have no forces.